You know that feeling, right? You're staring down a huge, complex problem, and you just feel stuck, overwhelmed. But what if there was a way to sort of peek into the future, to actually anticipate the ripples your choices will make before you make them? Well, that's the whole idea behind predictive problem solving. It's a really powerful question, isn't it? Now, this isn't about some crystal ball or magic trick. It's about having a system, a real method for turning all those what ifs into a clear plan for what's next. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. And here it is, the whole framework in one image. I want you to think of it just like a blueprint. It's a structured way to take a messy, totally unpredictable problem and turn it into a clear visual plan you can actually follow. At its heart, this approach treats every single problem like it's a puzzle. So instead of just guessing and hoping for the best, you combine that big picture thinking with detailed step-by-step planning. It lets you see exactly how all the pieces need to fit together. Now, to solve this puzzle, you really need two different ways of looking at it. The source material calls them the macro and the micro views. They have to work together, but, and this is important, you've got to establish that macro view first. I love the analogy on this slide. The macro view, that's like looking at the picture on the puzzle box. You know exactly what the finished thing is supposed to look like. It sets your ultimate goal. And the micro view, well, that's the actual work. It's the process of sorting the edge pieces, connecting the colors, and taking all those logical little steps to build that final image. You absolutely need both to succeed. Okay, so if the whole framework is our puzzle, what's the thing that drives it forward? That brings us to the rule of three. This is the engine of the entire process, and it's a surprisingly simple but really powerful principle that guides every single step you take. The rule itself couldn't be simpler. For any action you're thinking about, you have to consider three possible outcomes. Not just the one you hope will happen, but what could realistically happen. The good, the bad, and the neutral, somewhere in the middle. And this isn't just about feelings or guesswork. The framework actually assigns a statistical probability to each branch. As you can see here, each outcome, good, neutral, and bad, gets an equal 33.33% chance of happening. What this does is it forces you to take every potential path just as seriously as the others. But this system isn't just a machine for crunching numbers and logic. The secret ingredient, the thing that makes it all click, is creative thinking. You have to use your imagination to dream up these scenarios. What does a good outcome specifically look like? What would a bad one really involve? That's where your own expertise and creativity are so crucial. Okay, so how do you pull all this together so you can actually see it? You map it out. You use a structure called a decision tree, which is perfect for showing how one single choice can ripple outward into dozens of different potential futures. And this diagram shows it perfectly. You start right there in the center at level 0 with your main problem. From that point, your first decision creates three main branches: good, neutral, and bad. But it doesn't stop there. Each of those outcomes at level 1 becomes the starting point for three more branches, creating this incredible, expanding map of possibilities. I know this can all sound a bit abstract, so let's ground it in a concrete, real-world example. This is where you can really see the power of this whole methodology come to life. So here's our puzzle. The central issue is simple. Should we launch a new software product next month or not? The macro goal, our picture on the puzzle box, is a super successful and profitable launch. So let's map it out. All right, let's walk through this. Step 1, the big decision to launch. That immediately creates our three main branches. Good is a flawless launch. Neutral is an okay launch, but with some minor bugs. And bad, well, that's a total disaster. Now, step 2 is where it gets really cool. We take just that neutral outcome and apply the rule of 3 all over again. Patching those bugs quickly, that's good. Sales just sort of stay flat, that's neutral. And those bugs causing a huge customer crisis, that's bad. And step 3 is the real key here. If sales stagnate, that's a dead end. There are no obvious next steps. So that branch stops, and the problem of how to fix stagnant sales becomes a whole new puzzle with its own decision tree. And this right here is the payoff. This quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. By going through this exercise, by mapping out every possible branch, you can visually trace where every single path might lead. You're not just reacting to problems anymore, you're actually preparing a course of action for any possibility before it even happens. So there you have it. You now have the blueprint for turning all that confusing uncertainty into a clear, actionable plan. It's an incredibly powerful mental model for thinking through any challenge, whether it's a big business strategy or a personal decision.
So the only question left is, what puzzle are you going to solve first?